Good morning, students. In today's session, I am going to discuss about a poem entitled A Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Here, in this word, P is silent, L is silent. Psalm. What is the pronunciation of this? Psalm. A Psalm of Life. What is the meaning of Psalm? A sacred song. The poem Psalm of Life is about celebration of life. Before going into the poem, stanzas of poem, let me discuss about the poet, about the poem Longfellow. Coming to him, he was one of the America's best loved and most popular poets. His most famous works include The Song of Hiawatha, Paul Revere's Right, and Evangeline. Longfellow traveled all over Europe before beginning his career as a college professor. The popular appeal of Longfellow's poetry is mainly due to the natural grace and beauty of his verse, and also because of the simple themes, the spirit of joy, optimism, and faith in the goodness of life that is so characteristics of his poetry. So let me give introduction of this poet. Longfellow was one of the America's best loved and most popular poets. And his most famous includes the Song of Hiawatha, Paul Revere's Right, and Evangeline. 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 So these are his works. Song of Hiawatha, Paul Revere's Right, and Evangeline. He traveled all over Europe before beginning his career as a college professor. The popular appeal of Longfellow's poetry is mainly due to the natural grace and beauty of his verse, and also because of the simple themes. The spirit of joy, optimism, and faith in the goddesses, in the goodness of life, that is so characteristic of his poetry. So this is about the poet of Psalm of Life. Here the poem is about the celebration of life. Now let me discuss with stanzas of this poem. First one. First stanza. Tell me not in mournful numbers life is but An empty dream. These are the lines of the first stanza. For the soul is dead, that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. And things are not what they seem. Here, let me read it out the lines of this first stanza. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. The poet, in this first stanza, the poet firmly tells that don't tell me the sad songs or sad words that life is a dream which cannot be achieved. And he believes that the soul which does not strive is dead and sleep. And one should remember that the things which are going wrong today can change at any moment. The things which you see are not working today, with the next sunshine, everything can change. Here, what's the meaning of mournful? Sorrow. Mournful meaning sorrow. Next, here, numbers. What is the meaning of numbers? Songs or a poems. Mournful, sorrow, numbers. Actually, they are not. Here, numbers. What is the meaning of numbers in this stanza? Songs or poems. So, what type of songs or poems? Sad, sorrow. So, sorrow songs. Life is but an empty dream. Soul is dead. Actually, soul is dead that slumbers. What's the meaning of slumber? Inactive. To be an inactive. And things are not what they seem. Once again, let me discuss with these stanzas. Slowly I am going that so you can understand properly. The poet firmly tells that don't tell me in sad songs or sad words. In sad songs or sad words that life is a dream which cannot be achieved. And he believes that the soul which does not strive is dead and sleep. And one should remember that the things which are going wrong today can change at any moment. The things which you seem are not working together, which here, look at here, and things are not what they seem. The things which you seem are not working today, with the next sunshine, everything can change. So they are not whatever which we seem. They are not working today. With the next sunshine, everything can change. So coming to second stanza. Let me write it down. Life is real. Life is earnest. And the grave is not its goal. And the grave is not its goal. Dust to art. To dust returnest. Was not spoken of the soul. So let me read it out. Life is real. Life is earnest. And the grave is not its goal. Dust to art. To dust returnest. Was not spoken of the soul. Let me go with this second stanza. According to the poet, life is real, which is the only serious things we have, and goal of life is not grave, but the goal of life is to strive, to work, to go on pursuing. He believes that what was said in the Bible that dust through art to dust returns, because soul is immortal. It is a body that dies, not the soul. Was not spoken of the soul, because soul is immortal. It is the body that dies, not the soul. Yes, here, poet, according to poet, life is real. Life is real. Life is earnest, which is the only serious thing we have. And goal of life is not grave, but the goal of life is to strive to work and to go on pursuing. He believes that what was said in the Bible, that dust to art, to dust returns, was not spoken of the soul. Here, because soul is immortal, it is a body that dies, not a soul, not the soul. Was not spoken of the soul. Soul. Body dies, but not the soul, not spoken of the soul. As soul is soul is immortal, but body is going to die, not a soul, not spoken of the soul. Next, coming to the, okay, got it? Two stanzas. Let me go to third stanza. Not enjoyment. And not sorrow. Is our is our destined end. End or way. But, but to act that each tomorrow each tomorrow find us further than today. Here, let me read it out the lines of stanza. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us further than today. Here, the aim of the poet is not enjoyment. He believes that the aim of life is to go on acting and working so that every tomorrow is better than today. Here, every tomorrow, each tomorrow, find us further than today. So, that every tomorrow is better than today. Look at the lines over here. Every tomorrow, each tomorrow here, every tomorrow is better than today. So life is not enjoyment, life is not sorrow. Over enjoyment or over sorrow. This is not a life. He believes the aim of life is to go on. What is our destiny? Go on. Go on acting and working, but to act. What is over here? Working. Go on acting and working, but to act. That each tomorrow finds us further than today. So every tomorrow is better than today. So very easy to understand this stanza. Everything is clearly mentioned here. Now coming to fourth stanza. Art is long and time is fleeting. And our hearts do stout and brave, still, like, muffled, drums, or beating, funeral, marches to the grave. So, look at here. We are in this lesson. Psalm of life. Now I am at fourth stanza. Art is long and art is fleeting. What's the meaning of this? Flying. And our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. According to the poet in this stanza is trying to suggest that we have a lot to do and lot to do work. And we have so much to pursue, whereas other time is flying, but whereas time is flying away, and our hearts, which was made by God, are stout and brave. Unfortunately, we are beating like muffled drums. We are slowly walking towards the grave, as if we are walking in the funeral, and He's asking the people to walk with rhythm, walk with enjoyment in the life, and not as if they are walking in funeral procession. Okay, here the poet is trying to suggest that we have lot to do work, lot to do. As time is flying, art is long. We have lot to do. Here art. What's the art here? Work. What is work here? Art. What is art? It's a work. Art means work. We have lot. Art is long. We have lot to do work or lot to do art. We have so much to pursue in our life, but time is flying away. And a God who had created our hearts, stout and brave. Unfortunately, we are beating like muffled drums. Unfortunately, we are beating like muffled drums. Muffled drums beating. Look at here. We are slowly walking towards the grave. Funeral marches to the grave. We are slowly walking towards the grave as if we are walking in a funeral. Okay, got it? But he is asking the people to walk with the rhythm, walk with enjoyment in the life, and not as if they are walking in the funeral procession. Funeral marches to the grave. So he is asking us not to do like that. Walk with rhythm, walk with enjoyment in the life. Art is long. We have lot to do as time is flying. Our hearts, who had made our hearts? God. stout and brave. Unfortunately, we are beating like muffled drums. Funeral marches to the grave, but he's saying us to walk with rhythm and walk with enjoyment. He was asking us to change our attitude. Next, coming to fifth stanza. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac, bivouac of life, in the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac life. Be not like dumb, driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. Be not like the drum. In the strife. Look at this stanza. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. So, in this stanza, here the poet has compared the world to a broad field of life, field of battle. So, here, what the poet has compared the world to a broad field of battle and life with bivouac. All here on the earth are temporary period of time. We have to fight the battle of life, but not like a dumb cattle. He says our aims to be a hero. Whatever the challenges come away, we have to fight like a hero. Got it? Once again, let me read it out. Give me explanation. In the world's broad field of battle, here the poet has compared the world to a broad field of battle. So world compared with a broad field of battle. and life with bivouac. Bivouac, what is the meaning of that? Temporary camp. Life is temporary. All here on the earth are temporary period of time. We are staying on the earth. It's a temporary period of time. We have to fight the battle of life. So it's our temporary life. We have to fight the battle of life. Life is a battle between life and death. Okay, so he was saying that all here on the earth are temporary. They are temporary. We are temporary. We have to fight the battle of life, but not like a dump. Here, what is this? Dump cattle. He says our aims to be a hero. Whatever challenges come away, we have to fight like a hero. So we should be like a hero, fight like a hero. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, but not like a dump driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. So is it clear? Here, what is the meaning of bivouac? Temporary camp. We are staying on the earth. It's our temporary period of time. So be like a hero. He was saying us to be like a hero, not like a dump cattle. Okay, let me write it down one more stanza. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, here within and God's overhead. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act. Act in the living present. Heart within. And God overhead. So look at this stanza. Trust no future. Don't trust future. However pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Forget about the past. Act. Act in the living present. Right now, work. Act. Act in the living present. Heart within and God overhead. In this stanza, the poem was talked at the time about the time. Here, no future. He was talked about the time. He believes future cannot be trusted, even though it seems that would be pleasant, however pleasant, but no trust. He was talking about that time. And the dead is gone and past is gone. Dead gone, past is gone, everything. And we should bury the dead and past, everything, all Saturdays and whatever instance had come across in our past life. Just forget about that. He was saying us, the dead is gone, it's gone. Past is gone. We should bury the dead and past. His suggestions that live in the present. So now in present, let us live in the present, act in the present, put all our heart into every work we do and have faith in God who is above us. God overhead. He is above us. Act in the living present. So he suggests that live in the present, act in the present, work in the present wholeheartedly, with wholeheartedly work in the present, live in the present, and have a faith in the God. He is the one who is above us, God overhead. Trust no future. Here the poet was saying about time. He was saying that trust no future. Future is not trustable, however pleasant, even though it seems to be very pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. So let it be limited, forget about the past. Dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. So let us live in the present situation. Always don't think about your sorrow days in the past. Come to your present situation. Live in this present situation. Wholeheartedly work. Whatever work you are doing, work it with whole heart. And God, who had created our heart, He is above us. God is God overhead. He is above us. He is the one who is ruling us. So tomorrow let me finish off few more stanzas. This is a psalm of life. A psalm of life. What's the meaning of psalm? Psalm, a sacred song. The poem is about celebration of life.